Hey everybody, this is Randy Brown for Cameo Man 2021 and Vlogging with Mr. Brown. Uh, I had a lot of free time. I've got an abundance of that, so I thought I would just do a surprise stream. Haven't popped out any content recently. I don't think I've done anything in the last week and a half. So I thought I'd, just check in with the fans, see what's going with y'all, give you a few updates. Uh, you know, uh, if you're in the audience, drop a comment, even if it's just, hey, what's up, Randy? So yeah, I thought I'd give you a few updates on what's going on. I might only go for 30 minutes. I might go longer than that. We'll see. So basically, everything's been going great. Yesterday, I went to one of my favorite karaoke joints and I made $30, not including a $4.50 Red Bull. So that was pretty cool. I kind of went crazy on the Red Bulls yesterday. I had like 4 or 5. And like a lot of people say, oh, Randy, that's not good. Well, they took the warning labels off the Red Bulls. So, I've drank 4 or 5 Red Bulls before, and what's really interesting is it didn't hype me up. I actually got very calm on them. I don't know what the deal was, but there you go. So I'm going to give you a few updates on my book, an upcoming screenplay that I'm thinking about popping out, and then I'm going to go over my New Year's resolutions and my goals for 2023. So unlike Fears, I'm going to go in the order that I wrote it. Okay, so the first thing is I'm writing a new book. It's going to be a crime thriller novel. It's sort of based on real life, but has to do a lot with the FBI and the CIA, and this guy who he's tracking down a killer, has to do like a lot of like real Sherlock Holmesian type stuff. So it's going to be good. And I've read a lot of books on the CIA and the FBI and the Navy SEALs, and I'm trying to incorporate all that stuff into one book. And I brought it to my writers group today. The writers group really loved it. They thought it was pretty cool. And, it's got a big air of mystery to it. Sorry, Randy, I'm listening to a sermon on the treadmill. Have a good stream. Well, all right. Well, good for you, Yakov. Definitely learn some Bible knowledge, get that in there. That's cool. So yeah, basically what it is this college student, he has to track down some hackers, and they have to he has to find who they are and bring them to justice. So it's got like a very like Dan Brownish Lee Child like vibe. I'm trying to include a lot of details and a lot of info that's not only helpful for the reader but helpful for people in general. Like the lead character goes to a life coach, and the life coach gives him a lot of advice that not only applies to the main character but applies to a lot of people in the book as well. This is not going to be a sequel to my book Every Day is Magic. That was my first novel. This new one, I'm thinking about titling it Enemy Action, because there's a bit of advice in there from the CIA where it says, bumping into a person once is an accident, bumping into them twice is a coincidence, and bumping into them 3 times is an enemy action, which means, if you bump into a person more than twice, it means somebody's up to something, which is really interesting because I go to the mall all the time and I sit in the massage chairs, and I'll tell you, man, an hour in that massage chair, you don't want to get out. And I go to the mall and you stick $20 in there, and it's like 60 minutes of heaven, man. It's like $1 for 3 minutes. So again, $20 is pretty good. And if I ever have a spare $20, then the mall is where I'm at, just like relax. And I'm not quite sure, but I think like Zales or K, they might be suspicious of me because they see me. The chairs are across from Zales and K. It's in between them. I'm like wondering, all right, are they getting suspicious of me? Did they think I'm casing the joint? I'm not casing the joint. I'm just chilling out, relaxing, having a good time, just relaxing. So yeah, my next novel, it should be out. I wouldn't count on it this year. I would have to say sometime in probably May or June 2024. Again, I'm a very goal-oriented person, and I'm trying to make each chapter at least 5 pages long. I'm kind of saying maybe it'll be 20, 26 chapters. So a good page novel. And again, when I wrote my first novel, Every Day is Magic, I made a bet with Piers that I could write a book that's at least 114 pages long in a year. And I did it. And then I sent it into the formatters. They formatted it and they go, well, Randy, you wrote it in 10-point font, single spaced. So when we put it into proper format, it was actually a lot longer. And I was like, it's not 114 pages. I was like, no, it's more like 236 pages. I was like, holy shit. So that was a pleasant surprise. Every Day was Magic turned out to be a lot longer than I thought. So hopefully the same magic works with this new book. So there's that. And then I'm thinking about writing a Star Wars screenplay, not for production, but just to read online, because I was getting a lot of hits on Fiverr when I was reading like my She-Hulk scripts and my Cameo Man scripts. So hopefully I can generate more interest that way. And I'm thinking about writing a Star Wars script. And if I did, what I would want to focus on would be answering some of the questions that were never answered in the sequel trilogy. Because, the sequel trilogy was not good, but I do feel like there was a lot of untapped potential. There were a lot of questions that were raised, brought up, and then never answered, Like, I mean, if I was going to do a Star Wars script, and also a little bit of news is that they are doing another Star Wars movie with Rey. I'm not against this. I think Rey, if you treated her correctly, and Rey, if you fleshed out her backstory a little bit more, like how she got so good, beating up people that, in the first movie, it's like that totally comes out of nowhere. She's a scavenger. She's not a fighter. But I think you could flesh out her backstory. You could show her early days on Jakku, when she met Unkar Plutt and all that. But if I was going to write a Star Wars script myself, what I would do is I would answer a lot of the questions that got raised. I think I just said that, but I'll say it again. Answering a lot of the questions that weren't answered, because I have a pretty good theory on how Emperor Palpatine could have come back. It has to do with this fall down the shaft and the little burst of blue light. But oh dang, I guess people didn't like that Rey comment because I lost 2 viewers. Oh dang. But yeah, again, I think Rey has a lot of potential to be a good character. One of the things that I didn't like about the Rise of Skywalker was the fact that Emperor Palpatine basically says at the end of the movie, "Kill me and I'll just evaporate and go into you." And at the end of the movie, it's not like she got around it somehow. She killed Emperor Palpatine. And he said, "If you kill me, that'll transfer my power to you." So, I would like to not have that be an empty threat and not be an empty promise. And if I was going to do the next Rey Skywalker movie, I would give her a character flaw, because Rey was pretty flawless, not perfect, not meaning good, but she was very Mary Sue-ish. And I think it would be quite the coup and quite the little turnaround to have, Emperor Palpatine start nagging at her conscience, and just be like, hey, you know what? I'm here. I said I would be here. Now I'm here, and now you got to deal with me. And her whole arc during that next little segment could be, okay, Palpatine's in my head. I don't know what to do. I need to blast this guy out of there, get him out of there somehow. And that's what I would do if I was writing the next Star Wars movie. Number one, I would give Rey a flaw. Number two, I would flesh out her backstory. Like maybe she learned to fight on Jakku. Maybe Lor San Tekka taught her some stuff, because there's a lot of questions that were brought up in the sequel trilogy that were never answered. Like, for instance, Maz Kanata. How did she get Luke's lightsaber? I think I know how she did it. Never answered. Lor San Tekka. Who is that dude? How did he get that chip? What did he do? I mean, like, if you're going to hire an actor like Max von Sydow, give him a juicy part to play. Don't just give him a 5-minute cameo. I mean, like, Max von Sydow is like a legendary actor. He was Ming the Merciless in the Flash Gordon series. You can't just have somebody that caliber and then just never mention them ever again. Lor San Tekka, he died, and then his character was never mentioned, never alluded to, never spoken of, not even one tiny little bit. And I'm like, who is this guy? Who is Lor San Tekka? How did he get the chip? What does he know about all this? I mean, was he a guy on Alderaan? Was he Leia's father? I mean, come on, people. And then Snoke. Again, that's another big question. Never answered, never alluded to. Yeah, well, it was alluded to in Rise of Skywalker. It said it was a clone. But clone of who? Like, who was Snoke? I mean, he was old enough to have been around in the OT, in the original trilogy. I mean, I would really like to know who this guy was, what part he had to play, how did he come into play, how did he manipulate Ben Solo? When did the First Order rise? How did it come into power? Like, what were the politics around that? Like, again, there were a lot of questions in the sequel trilogy that were like, yeah, we'll get to that later, and they never got around to it, and the biggest, and I would joke around in my script, and I would do a lot of, I wouldn't call it parody, but I would call it more satire. Be like, have like Thrawn come back and Darth Vader come back, and maybe Snoke come back, and then do that little crappy line that Poe had in Rise of Skywalker, and be like, somehow Darth Vader returned, somehow Thrawn returned, somehow Snoke returned. I'd hammer it home. And I've got a lot of ideas. I've got a lot of ideas circulating and brewing up in my head right now. So I got a lot of things. I got a lot of ideas, popping up and bubbling up in my mind. So this new script would be called A Heart of Kyber. I already got the title. It's based off a line in Rogue One. I thought that was really poetic, and really didn't sound like a Star Wars title that had already been used. So I think that would be a good title. So I'm going to use, my screenwriting method. And I do want to cover another book update. Another book update is my 7th book, the One Day Screenplay. I'm in the process of revising it. I have a few things to shuffle around. My beta reader said you need to put the last chapter at the first because, people are wondering how to write a screenplay in a day, and that's what your last chapter does. The way I set up the book originally, the One Day Screenplay, was that, you would read through all these chapters and that it would build the skills. And then at the end, I would give you the way to write a screenplay in a day. But my beta reader said, no, you don't want to make people wait like 19, 18 chapters until you give them the good stuff. Take that last chapter, put it at the beginning, and, give them the good stuff at the front. And then like later on, if they want to build their skills or build their repertoire, you add some more stuff later. So yeah, so I'm doing that. So yeah, this could be an AMA, guys. You can ask me anything if you want to. I mean, again, if as long as the questions aren't completely trolly, I'll pretty much answer whatever you want to know. So yeah, if any of you we just got two people watching, if you want to know anything, let me know. Larry Tate, want to give a shout out to him. Give out a shout out to Yakpo, Zoom Visions. Those all those guys are pretty cool. And yeah, so the one-day screenplay I predict will be out probably not May, not June. I would say the one-day screenplay was probably going to be in July 2023 sometime. And then my next novel will be out July 2024. So, I need a few time. And every Monday, I don't know if y'all know this, but every Monday I go to a writer's group in the morning. And the writer's group is so awesome. It's so fun. Let me tell you something. If you are a writer, you have to go to a writer's group, because writer's group are so fun. There's so many positive elements to a writer's group. Like, basically what we do is we have about 5 or 8 writers, 5 to 8 writers every time. And what we do is we print out about 3 to 5 pages of whatever work we're working on. We try to bring a copy for everybody. And then, basically, it's first come, first serve. So whoever arrives first gets to read first. Whoever arrives second gets to read second. And, what we do is we just hand out the copies, and whoever wrote it reads whatever they wrote. And then we just go around the table and we give our little comments and criticisms. This is what I liked. This is what I didn't like, and work on this. You got a little apostrophe there that needs to be moved, and this sentence doesn't work, maybe word it like this. So writers groups are tremendously helpful, and they're tremendously encouraging, and there are so many good reasons to go to a writers group. Like, number one, what a lot of people don't know, there's free food. Like occasionally somebody will bring in some cookies, and there's always coffee brewing in the kitchen. And occasionally some people, they have a birthday, they bring in some birthday cake, or they bring in some muffins that they made. So, it's, sometimes I don't need to order breakfast. Sometimes it's all already there. And, the people at the Civic Center, they really like me. So, the leader of the Civic Center sometimes will bring me like, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. I'm like, hell yeah, this is awesome. She really likes me, and I really like her. She's a nice lady. What's up, Dragon? Dragon, this is an AMA. You can ask me anything if you want. Again, like I said, as long, and this is to everybody, as long as the questions aren't out and out trolly, I'll answer pretty much whatever you want. Even if it's a little bit trolly, I'll still answer it. I don't know if you heard, but I am making my own Fierce Man cartoon. All right, cool. Is it going to be animated, Dragon? Yay or nay? Is it going to be animated? I cannot wait. I was really depressed that you, no, it's not going to be animated. I was really depressed that you wanted to be taken out of Fierce Man. I really was, Dragon. I loved your singing. I really liked that you were in it, and I might make a commented book, but it will be a parody. Okay, cool. I really wanted you to stay in the cartoon, Dragon. I really did. You've been a good friend to me, and you've been a good friend to Fears, and I was sad to see you go, and I was sad to see Sega get taken out. I mean, I spent a really long time in that, and I really tried to capture your look, Dragon, because remember, I don't know if you remember this, but I showed you the original drawing of you on Twitter, and you said that doesn't look like me. And then I redrew you I looked at a picture of you, and I redrew you so that you would, the only reason I did not want myself here is to change, the way I treated my character made me. Yeah, I didn't think so. I don't think in my thing, which I do thank you, Randy. Okay, well, yeah, I did specifically try to make it look like you. I really did. No, it's not your fault. Okay, cool. But yeah, so that's as far as the book goes. And again, I'm working on a Star Wars screenplay, not for production, but for just to read, because I noticed that when I started to do readings on scripts, when I started to do my She-Hulk stuff, when I read my Cameo Man scripts, I was getting loads and loads and loads of work on Fiverr. So I'm thinking about doing the same thing again. I am down to help for the Star Wars thing. Yeah. Yeah, I have tons of ideas bubbling in there. And I've got specific ways to get ideas. And there's a lot of things that might infuriate some people. No, nobody in the community, nobody like Dragon or Sega or anybody like that. But there's some things that I think I'm gonna rib some people. Not anybody in the community, nobody we know, but just woke people in general. Because I mean, it seems like Disney Star Wars is going woke as hell. They are going all out with the wokeness. And with this new Star Wars script, I'm going to kind of be ribbing the woke people, going to be kind of taking subtle jabs at them. And some of what I'm going to write might infuriate some woke people. I'll just let you know. Because I think what's happened to Disney Star Wars is just ridiculous. Like getting rid of, what's that woman, Cara Dune. Getting rid of Cara Dune was a bad move. I think she was a really likable character. And I don't actually normally like that actress, but I thought she was good as Cara Dune. And I was pretty upset to see her go. And the only reason they booted her out because she put some stuff on Twitter, and they booted her out. And I'm like, she was a good actress. A lot of people liked her, and I don't want to see her replaced. I liked her in Deadpool, whoever that actress was. I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but I liked her. Piers always loved the woke business. No, Dragon. Piers isn't like the woke stuff. You saw Guardians of the Galaxy. Was it good? Oh, it was pretty good. All right, good. And did they do any of that BS in there, Dragon? Did they do any, like feminazi stuff or woke stuff in there? Because no, that is good. And I'm glad that you answered that so quickly. I was like, no, because if you would have had to wait, I would have been like, is he like waffling? I don't know. But yeah. So I am doing a Star Wars script again, and it will be called A Heart of Kyber. And it's going to be answering a lot of the questions that weren't. Gamora Nebula has always been naturally badass due to James Gunn. James Gunn is a really good director. And the thing about James Gunn is that James Gunn has a really good knack for taking characters that nobody cares about and making you care about them. Like, for example, Guardians of the Galaxy, until their movie, they were really like lower tier characters. Like they were nowhere near as popular as Hulk or Spider-Man. Peacemaker as well. Yes, that is correct. I was getting to that. Peacemaker they did, and then Peacemaker, a lot of people didn't like the first Suicide Squad. I thought it was okay, but the second Suicide Squad was amazing. And again, James Gunn has a really knack for taking lower tier characters that nobody cares about and making them like the center star of the stage. Because, a lot of people don't know this, but Iron Man, before his movie, Iron Man was not like a major Marvel character, Like he was nowhere near as popular as the Hulk or Spider-Man or the Fantastic Four. Like Iron Man was a really lower tier character until the 2008 movie. It was the first other DC comic storyline. It was meh, but the Suicide Squad was cool. Hope to see them in the DCU. Yeah, and they are getting some more stuff. And James Gunn is heading up the DCEU. And again, there's a lot of projects that James Gunn announced that I'm kind of like iffy on. But again, like with what I just said, James Gunn, he's good at taking those lower tier characters and propping them up and making them big time. So yeah, he's got an Amanda Waller movie coming up, and then there is some sort of lower tier superhero movie where it's another team like Suicide Squad, but it's not Suicide Squad. I heard he might be rushing the Russo brothers for a Batman movie. I am the man. Or what's the sign? What's the saying from the Joker? I'm of the mind who makes a movie. I know you meant to say movie, and I think Jack Nicholson meant to say movie. There's a scene in Batman 1989 where he goes, I am a mind who makes a movie. Yeah. I know you meant movie. I was just kidding. Creature Lagoon. Creature from the Black Lagoon. That has a lot of I really feel like not Benicio del Toro, Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro really did a good job with The Shape of Water and bringing back. I mean, that character is basically the creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, any way you cut it, and the character looks is a dead ringer. So, Dragon Zero says, "Did I get new teeth?" No, I did not get new teeth. I've had these for a while. These are a veneer. These are plastic. If you saw my teeth underneath this, they look horrible. So a little bit has off, but this is it's veneers, and you just snap them on. They you put them in boiling water, and then they go to like gumminess, and then you snap them on. Then you put them in ice water, and the molding just snaps to your teeth. So I'm using this. I'm not. I don't have any big purchases for this year. So basically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start saving up to get everything just taken out and just get totally new teeth put in. Hopefully. I think Gothic King Cobra or one of those guys, Gothic Drinks or somebody like that has what I want to get, where I get, just everything pulled out and just get implants put in, because it doesn't matter what I do. You're also planning on putting Sam in the cartoon. All right. It doesn't matter what I do. Even if I brush every day from here to eternity, my front teeth are still chipped. This one right here is chipped. It doesn't matter what I do. Even if I brush every day for eternity, it's not going to make these teeth better. So I'm thinking about just, maybe going to a dental college, getting them all taken out and getting implants put in. Comic character or whatever, but he will be a live interest. I hope you don't mean love interest. I hope you mean live interest. But yeah. And then Dragon, I don't know if you know, but I'll send you a link on Twitter. Send me a message on Twitter, and I will send you a link to my DeviantArt. You do mean love interest, okay? I'm gonna send me a message on Twitter, and I will link you to my DeviantArt. And I actually did a comic about 4 or 5 days ago. I was really blasting my productivity. I don't know what happened, but I was really creative that day. I think it's because I took the cough syrup, and cough syrup has a little alcohol in it. And I don't know, maybe that, incited my creativity. But I drew 31 drawings in one day. Don't tell fears. I drew 31 drawings in one day, and I finished the entire comic. Actually, Dragon, Exhumed Visions has seen the comic, and if you go on my Discord, you will see the link for the comic, and it's a PDF. So check it out and tell me what you think, and let me know. Give me your comments and criticisms. I'm open. So yeah. So cover the book, cover the screenplay. The last thing I want to cover, I'm probably only going to go to like 45, unless unless some of you start hitting me with really hardcore questions. Um, I have some goals, and for the last 3 years, it's been the same goal. I mean, for the last 3 or 4 years, it's been the same resolution. In 2020, my resolution was to make as much money as humanly possible doing magic. And I did that. I made $149 in a year. And then for 2021, my goal was to make double that. And I met that goal. I made $300 in 2021. Then I decided to make double that. And in 2022, I made around 600. And then in 2023, I'm on track to make double that. So I'm hoping to make $1,200 from my magic, and I am on track right now. I'm actually way ahead of the game right now, because to make $12,000 in a year, I would have to be making $100 every month. And so far, it's been 4 months, and I made $456. So I am way on track to meet my resolution. And then in 2024, it'll be make double that. So there you go. Have you tried going to magic school in Hollywood? No, I have not. There is a very famous magic place in California that I'm dying to go to. And this place is called the Magic Castle. And you can't get into the Magic Castle unless you're invited in. And, somebody's got to test you out and they got to vet you. But very famous people have been to the Magic Castle. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger has been there. Some very famous boxers, some very famous movie stars, a few presidents have been to the Magic Castle. And the Magic Castle is pretty cool. It's basically like this old haunted house type thing. And the way you get in is you don't just walk through the front door. You walk into the parlor, and there is a secret entrance in the parlor. And then they let you in. They, they stamp your hand, or they do something like that. But it's very cool. There's no casual formal entrance. You've got to be let in, and you got to say the magic words, which I'm pretty sure it's abracadabra or please or something like that. But no, I have not been to magic school. I, Dragon, am self-taught. Over the last 12 years, I've done a lot of self-teaching. I read a lot of magic books. I got a lot of magic DVDs. There are some magic DVDs that I have not even opened yet because I have so many. I actually know a famous magician in Florida, and he actually gave me his set of DVDs. And Todd told me, he said, Randy, don't ever read books. Don't ever read books on how to do magic. Because one of my friends got me a magic book called The Art of Ardor at the Card Table by Jimmy Nuzzo. And I was reading through this book, and the funny thing about the book is it uses a lot of terms that I'm not familiar with, that really super pro magicians would be familiar with. But even though I'm kind of intermediate, I would say. And there's a bunch of terms in this book where I have no idea what it's saying. They're yes, you take the cards like this, and then you do the Cincinnati twist and lay the cards out like this. And I'm like, what's the Cincinnati twist? I don't know what that is. And then it's yeah, and then you do the Perry shuffle. And I'm like, what the hell is the Perry shuffle? I don't know what any of these terms mean, man. So there's a lot of terms in books, and a lot of magic books are ambiguous. They're take the short end, and it's does it mean the top short end or the bottom short end? Is it the short end closest to me or short end closest to the client? So yeah, Todd said, Randy, don't buy books, buy DVDs, because they will show you what they will literally show you, and they will perform it right there. You won't have to guess. Is it close to me, close to you? You should do Sexy and I Know It at karaoke. Here's one cool thing, Dragon. One, I was on a roll, man. And one time I was doing magic for these people, and I had somebody pull out the ace of diamonds, and I was revealing their cards, and somebody at the same time was singing the songs "Diamonds Are Forever," and then I turn and go and "Diamonds Are Forever," and boom, it's diamonds. And people were screaming their head off, screaming. They're like, "Oh my God, how did you plan that? How did you plan that song and that card at the same time?" And, there's this movie called Omega Doom starring the late Rutger Hauer. And there's a character in there, and he sums up, what happens to me a lot. And the character says, sometimes you just get lucky, you know? And then one time I pulled out a horse, a little toy horse, and at the same time somebody was singing "Goodbye Horses" or something like that, and they're like, "Oh my God, how did you plan that?" And what a lot of people don't know is that I'm hiccuping, by the way. So if you hear me pause, it's me hiccuping. What a lot of people don't know is I carry about 11 to 13 different cards hidden on my person at one time. And if you don't know, 52 divided by 13 is 4. So basically, no matter what's happening, where I am, wherever I am, I have a 1 in 4 chance of somebody randomly picking out a card that I will have on my person. So, and I can see you performing it. I've done "I'm Sexy and I Know It" a few times. I think I've done it 2 or 3 times. It's a good song. I like it. Did you see my version of Peaches, which I call the Amy Jo Johnson song? If you haven't seen that, Dragon, check that out. And I put a lot into that. I for the Peaches song. Oh, you haven't seen it? Yeah, check it out. It's on Cameo Man. It's like, I think it's my last song. I call it the Amy Jo Johnson song. And because I'm a huge fan of Amy Jo Johnson. On my bucket list is to meet her before she kicks the bucket, before I kick the bucket. But yeah, I did it for Amy Jo Johnson. Like, as I was listening to Peaches, I was thinking, like, who do I really love that I got a major crush on that I would sing a song about? And I was like, thinking, I really like Amy Jo Johnson. And I started like thinking of like words as Bowser was singing the song. And, I'll tell you, Jack Black, man, he needs to get rid of that beard. That beard makes him look 10,000 years old. The dude's young. I mean, he's 50, but like that beard makes him look like 5 million years old. He needs to get rid of the beard. It's not doing him any favors. It's making him look like a dusty wizard. It's not good. It doesn't look. When is the next Fierce Man cartoon? Probably not. Probably not May. Probably not June. I would say sometime in July. Now, Fears wants to rush me along and thinks I'm going to do like 5 million hours of work. And he thinks, "Oh, Randy, it's going to be done next month." I'm like, I don't know about that. It's a lot of work. We have a lot of people doing voiceover work. Giselle Marie is going to be playing the reporter again. Fierce has yet to record his dialogue. Fierce has a friend of his from college who he wants to do Cameo Kid, and then I need to do voiceover work for Black Aldrin, and plus I've got to rebuild the timeline. Is Sam going to show up? No. If you want, I'll talk to Fierce and we'll see if we can. I don't know if Sam wants to be in it. I mean, I'm sure he likes the cartoon, but I don't know if he wants to be in it. But yeah, like when we do and Dragon, the audio is going to be super good, super classy. It's not going to be crappy audio because there's this new program that Adobe has put out. And I don't know what it is, but if you go to Adobe, they've got this free app right now where you can put in audio that has like, like echo in it, and like, you know, like, you know, like audio that's recorded on your computer or on a bad mic. And Adobe can take this audio, and you give it about 4 or 5 minutes, and it will take that audio, it will scrub it, and it will make the audio sound mucho perfecto. I mean, he's often here in Fierce live stream chat GPT. Yeah, so I'm going to use this audio thing for all the audio on Fierce Man. So it's going to sound really super classy, really nice. And this audio program, it's amazing. It takes like shitty audio, like horribly really bad, has like echoes and clips and pops in it. This program can take it and it can make that audio sound freaking amazing. So I'm going to be using that for the next Fierce Man. Again, Fears is like, I'm just going to rush Randy and we're going to have it out by next month. I'm like, no. I would say 2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months. You should use AI to get famous people in the cartoon. Lord Randall, what up, Geodude? There's something with, I think, to get famous people in the cartoon, you've got to get their written permission, because I know what you're talking about. You're talking about this. There's this program where you can have a person talk for a minute, and it'll steal their voice imprint, and then you can just type whatever you want. And I think Quentin Tarantino did that for his movie Once Upon a Time in Mexico. At the end, they have Fierce Vlogs is like, I gave you a like. So yeah, you can type whatever you want and it'll sound like a famous person. Jordan Peterson did that one time. But yeah, I will try that. Link that to me on my Twitter or on my Discord. You got my message, so get the message in there. But yeah, so again, the last thing I wanted to talk about was my goals, my resolution. My resolution is to make double what I made last year, and I made $600 last year. So this year I'm rooting. I'm shooting for 1,200. I'm gonna try to get it. And the Jordan Peterson talking about Bionicle, yeah, and Lego, yeah. I saw a video with Joe Rogan. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I'm doing good. So yeah, so again, I'm just gonna gloss over everything I've covered today. I might go to 45. I mean, if you give me some good questions out there, Geodudes, Fierce Logs, Dragon Zeron, shout out to all of you. If you give me some good questions, you might have me on here for another 18 minutes. But if you do not give me any good questions, I'm just going to do a wrap up, and then I'm going to bid a fair adieu. So again, my next book is the very next book is going to be called The One Day Screenplay, where I teach people how to write a screenplay in one day. That'll probably be out in June or July. Going to be July or June 2024. I've been sick a lot, and I do thank you a lot, Fears, for putting some prayers in me. And Walter White says, "What's up, Randy? What's up, Walter?" So yeah, my next novel, not my next book, but my next novel, is going to be called Enemy Action. It's a tentative title. I do have other titles that I could do. And it's basically going to be like a little CIA, kind of like Dan Brownish type spy thriller. What's your favorite Tarantino movie? Hands down, Pulp Fiction. Hands down, Pulp Fiction. Without a doubt, number one with a bullet. Pulp Fiction. With him screaming, "My baby!" No problem on fear prayers, buddy. Yeah. So the next novel probably going to be June or July, sometime 2024. That's when you can expect the next novel from me. Um, Again, I'm going to try to have 20 to 26 chapters and 5 pages each chapter. Almost been exactly 5 pages. And then again, I'm writing a screenplay. It's going to be a Star Wars screenplay. It's going to be a part satire. It's not going to be for production, although if a production company wants to make it, or if somebody wants to animate it or do a CGI version or a fan film, I will not be opposed to it. But it's going to be a lot of satire, a lot of the woke bullcrap that you see in Disney today. It's going to be. I'm not talking about anybody from the community, but it's probably going to be infuriating to some woke people and to some hardcore people. When is the next time we can hit up the beach, Randy? I do not know, Fears. We shall see. See, Fears, here's the thing. You like to plan ages and ages and ages in advance. I am of the, there's this book I think you should read, Fears. And if you want a good book to read, you should read The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People by Stephen Covey. And one of the main chapters in that book is put first things first. And me, I like to play things by ear. I don't know what I'm doing. Plan I don't plan more than a day or two in advance. Because my schedule shifts and moves around and changes so rapidly. Because I'm sick. I need to take me to the hospital. I'm like, okay, and then she goes like, I need you to get to the thing. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that. So my schedule changes so rapidly and so much that I really have to be adaptable and not plan so far in advance. I can't tell you, I've had this sickness, I've had this cough for like a good week or so. And it's kind of gone away, but it's come back again. So I can't plan that far in advance. I don't know. I do not know when is the next time we're going to hit up the beach. I've been watching the Watchmen series. Have you seen it? I watched 2 episodes of the Watchmen series, Dragon. It left a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't like it. Like, even the original Watchmen by Zack Snyder made me feel dirty. And that's saying something because I watch a lot of porn. Porn I feel okay with, but Watchmen, it gives me a bad, icky, like depressed sensation. I can't watch depressing, nihilistic stuff like that. It really, really brings me down. So no, I won't be watching Watchmen. Ray, one of the wild things he ever said is that King Cobra has the exact teeth you want. Now, I've seen the dude. Here's the thing. I've seen pictures of Gothic King Cobra where he's got like metal teeth. And then I've seen the exact same picture on his channel. And all that metal teeth stuff is photoshopped. It's people trying to make Gothic King Cobra look bad. He actually has good teeth. But if you look at the memes and stuff, they like photoshopped like some foil, like right up here, like, some like metal, like implants. His teeth don't really look like that. If you look at his teeth on his channel, his teeth look fine. Like, but if you look at the memes and stuff, people making fun of Gothic, that's not how his teeth really look. And I would love to get dental implants. Again, I don't have any really big purchases coming up in the next year or so. So I am going to try like hell, extra up $5,000. I'm going to try to go to a dental college and I'm going to try to, do that. Let me know, man, when you want to go. I will. Tell Fierce I might be coming to Florida and I might visit him. Dragon might visit you, Fierce. You really get that mindset book. I recommended it to you too, Randy. Yes, I did. I didn't get it on paperback or digital. I got it on Audible. It talks a lot about the growth mindset, but it really doesn't talk about much other than the growth mindset. And I have always had the mindset of GED, which is growing every day. Like when I got out of college, that was not the end of my education. I take great pride and I take great diligence in learning stuff, reading new books. I take great pride in finishing books. And I take copious notes. I am learning every day. I watch stuff on editing, on how to edit videos. I watch stuff on audio, how to create better audio and videos. I watch stuff on psychology, so I can give people good advice when they ask for it. So I constantly, I this is going to sound prideful, but I already had the growth mindset. Like growing and learning every day is something that I actively pursue. But yes, on audiobook, which kind of pisses me off because I actually looked on YouTube, and you can get the audiobook for free on YouTube. So kind of like son of a bitch. So I'm gonna next time, before I get something on Audible again, I'm gonna look on the internet and look on YouTube to see if I can get the audiobook for free. But yeah, I already had a growth mindset, but it's good. I do like the refresher, and I do like to relearn things, and sometimes, even though something, sometimes somebody will put a new spin or a new perspective, or give you a new example, or a new wording on something, and that little new wording will kick in, or you knock an insight into you. Uh, uh who is your favorite porn star? Belladonna. Uh, I watched Cobra for years. He has the worst teeth I've ever seen. They're literally rotting out of his head. I I do know drinks. There's Gothic King Cobra. There's Gothic King Cobra JFS. So I whoever I'm again, I don't know. Well, again, the dude base I want to say is don't worry about Gothic King Cobra. I want to get dental implants. I really want to get that. But the problem with dental implants is that they are expensive as shit. Um, Now there are places where they can do it all in one day, and they could rip all of them out and put the implants in one day, and then boom, you got new teeth. But dental implants on the low end, on the low end, are $5,000. And how much $5,000 is for me? I make about $1,100 a month. So if I didn't spend any money, nothing at all, if I had zero expenses and everything in my life was paid for, it would still take me 5 months to get those implants. So until then, I'm going to do the veneers. These cost $50. They're pretty good. You can't drink anything with these. You can't drink coffee or Coke because a retainer here somewhere. It's right here. Got my retainer. But yeah, dental implants are expensive as shit. But 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 at dental colleges, sometimes they can give you really hot smoking deals. Like I might be able to get dental implants for 2,500. Again, there's a lot of dental schools around me, a lot of people close by. 5K is super low. Just getting two guys that have dental implants, one paid. 1.5K and the other costs 30K. Oh, damn. Or 15K and the other costs 30K. Oh, dang. Well, again, Walter White, make very low income. I actually am trying to get a job right now. I did when the last hurricane came in. A lot of businesses on A1A, including the Wave, got hit, and a lot of them had no power. There's this one place called Longboards, and they got their whole parking lot gutted by the hurricane. And I was working at the Wave, and they were paying me like $50 a day for like 2 days a week. And the thing about the Wave is when the hurricane came, they had to shut the Wave down, and they had about $20,000 worth of food in the freezer. The power went out for 5 days. All the food went totally bad, and they were literally bleeding $1,000 a day. And then after 30 days, they said, "Look, we can't stay open. We're losing too much money, so we got to do this. We got to cut it." And the Wave was out the window. But I did have a job. I didn't tell you all because I didn't want people to call the Wave and like make trouble for me. Again, I do have there are some trolls online, and I didn't want to say, but I did have a job for a good 7 to 8 months. But there is another place that wants me, and there's another place that wants me in Daytona, and I have been talking to them, and I will continue to talk to them. And there's also a Magic Shop, and they want me, so I'm going to be trying to get that job pretty soon. So the dude watched King Cobra for years. Worst thing I've ever seen. They're little raw. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So hey, we got an hour in. So I am going to call my friend Ron. He's my friend from Arizona. I met him at the Academy of Radio and Television Broadcasting. I'm going to give him a ringy dingy, and I'm going to wrap it up. We got 3 minutes left, so I'm going to complete the hour. But yeah, again, going to try to get dental implants if I can. Hopefully, yeah. And again, dental schools offer smoking deals. Sometimes you can get your teeth done at a dental college for a fraction of the price of what it would cost for a real dental place. The problem with dental colleges is these are newbies. These are people who have not done this shit before. So, I could go to a dental college and they could totally mess my teeth up, and I'd be SOL and up SI up Schitt's Creek without a paddle, basically. So yeah. So, but yeah. So again, my book, The One Day Screenplay, gonna be out probably June, July. My new novel, probably gonna be out June, July 2024. Writing a screenplay, Star Wars screenplay called A Heart of Kyber. I'm going to try to see if I can get that released sometime this month or next month. And then as far as my resolution goes, I am on track. Again, to be on track, I need to make $100 a month. So I made $450 in the last 4 months. So I'm trucking along, getting that resolution. And, only 8% of people follow through on their New Year's resolution. I have followed up through on my New Year's resolution for the past 4 years. So I'm on track. I'm doing pretty well, and that's my goal. I'm a very goal-oriented person, and like goals are important to me. And I think, if you want to be happy and you want to progress, you need goals. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Because Anthony Robbins has this equation. It says progress equals happiness, and the way you make progress is you have some goals and you take action on them. And if you do that, you'll be doing pretty good. You'll be doing just fine. So there you go. So yeah, if anybody has any other any other comments or questions, I'm gonna let it go, and I'm just gonna give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Walter White. Shout out to the dude 4464. Shout out to Dragon. Shout out to Fears. Let's see. I think there's some other here. Let's see. Yeah. I thank you all for stopping by. And, like I always say, my name's Randy Brown. I do the card tricks, but you all bring the magic. And I will see you later, alligator. All right. Bye.